Okay, I mean, you're good. All right. Welcome to Bucketphoria. And as you can notice, Raul's not here. So, welcome to the. Oh, yeah. Where's my manners? Happy New Year to all Bucketphoria fans. I'm Alex, and who are you?
Who am I? Wow. Like I wasn't in the show before. That's crazy. He said, who am I?
Who are you?
You gotta deal with a football guy for today because certain people want to be catching COVID, like a certain. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna play him. I had COVID 2 months ago. I can't talk ish. This is Juan from Sports Dynasty NFL. This is my second appearance, but I'm actually a co-host today instead of a guest because of COVID stuff going on. Yeah, look at already. Tommy's already here. Yeah, so one sided because, like I just eloquently stated, the other guy has COVID in Florida at the moment. So I don't know when the hell we're gonna see him again. But
Yes, the weekly fire
can we
Casey.
I'm about to say,
The weekly fire Casey. Yes,
like,
sir.
can we talk first? Jesus
It's not
Christ.
it's not an episode if you don't say fire Casey. It's just a case.
I mean, this tank for Wembenyama.
I mean, they have no choice.
Yeah, so you good. You could get Wembenyama, a new coach, and you're gonna be a happy camper next year. So you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Man, that's also one of the topics we might even talk about today, because there are two things we will go through. The first, but we will talk about it last actually, is the storylines for the second half of the season. Everybody's played roughly around 35-ish games or so. So in about 2 weeks, it will be officially the halfway mark of the NBA season. So we're gonna go through potential storylines based on what has happened in the last 35 games or so, and we'll see what's up. But the first thing we're gonna talk about is, I don't know if you guys noticed. I know he's noticed. I know all the basketball guys noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed. But it seems like everybody can buy a bucket however they like. You noticed that, right?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, we're here to actually talk about that because it's kind of an interesting topic to have. How you see some of the benches of bench warmers come up and they wind up coming off the bench playing for 3 minutes and they'll have like 6 points. That's not supposed to happen. We've had people average zeros across the board and they'll play like 6 minutes. Where do these 6 points come from? Why is it so easy to score?
I mean, again, with the pace being the way that it is, like, it's going to generate more possessions. And I will also say this, like, this league is too damn talented. That's another thing. You got so many people who can score the basketball, and nowadays 40 is the new 30.
40 is the new 30. So you ready for some scientific data? And this sport is even worse with this. Everybody loves to go through all the freaking ratings, those other ish.
Yeah.
We would love their numbers in basketball. So let's talk about numbers. So I went through past seasons and went through like field goal stuff and 3-point stuff and pace and offensive rating stuff. For some reason, a defense is so irrelevant that the internet did not want to give me actual defensive information for the years. So I could not find any defensive rating stuff. Very difficult, believe it or not.
People don't like defense.
Yeah, in any sport nowadays. It's pretty pathetic. But anyway, this season is actually ranked 20th in pace of all time, but this is between 75 years. Okay. So that's actually very high. But here's the thing. It is 19th, but it's third most in the modern era, meaning within the last 23 years. It's third most.
To the field goal percentage?
Pace. We're getting there. I have a lot of stuff.
We're getting there. About this.
In terms of pace.
Okay.
The only ones that I believe are ahead is, I want to say it was the COVID year is just above it. And I think might be last season.
Okay.
It's just above it. You already know, everybody that knows basketball history, the pace domination is from the 70s and 80s. They are all over the damn place within the top 20. And especially the 80s. Whew. But the 70s rank the top 7 of all time in pace.
I can see that.
And then is the 80s, and then is now. So 90s and 2000s are all the slowest paces besides the 60s. Which right. Everybody knew. This season, as of right now, and this is, of course, in terms of per 100 possessions, because, the season is not even halfway done yet. So they have a small sample size. You got to go through the 100 possessions in order to really have at least a projection of what's to come by the time April finishes.
Right.
This season holds the highest efficient field goal percentage ever and highest offensive rating ever.
It looks like, again.
Would you like to know the teams behind it? The last 6 years. Almost in order. Almost. The 20s are the top three. Like 2020s.
Again, yeah, now that makes sense.
But this one is the highest. It is going crazy and crazier. This season, as of right now, in terms of 100 possessions, it's 15th highest in 3-point percentage, but the most attempts ever.
So you say 15th highest in percentage, but the highest. Okay.
Now, let's keep this into perspective. There are seasons where teams only attempted like 10 threes a game, and they'll have a high percentage.
That is true.
Not even close to the sample size. This season has the most, and it is top 15.
Actually, pretty impressive given the amount of volume that
almost almost all the 90s. The volume is half.
I don't think it was that much.
It's half. It's like 35 per game around, but back then it was like 16, 17 back then. So it's more accurate now because the sample size is twice as much, and they're almost on par. And the percentages is only off by decimals. It's not 1 or 2. It's by decimals. So it's not even close. This is the most accurate anybody shot the 3-ball. I think only 2 other seasons is close to it. I want to say it was COVID year, and I think maybe the year before, 2019, the Kawhi Leonard year.
About the year after Raptors. Okay.
Yeah. This season is ranked 66 in free throw attempts. Right now,
say 66.
Yeah, but they're first in percentage. So they're hitting all their free throws, even though they're attempting way less. Not many people are getting fouled in the basket anymore.
Yeah, because not many people are driving to the basket.
Yes, everybody did it. That's why they're 66, because everybody before 2000 and like before Curry, BC before Curry. That's we're gonna call it that. BC before Curry, everybody was throwing themselves to the basket and getting fouls. That doesn't happen anymore. So that's why I'm 66. But they're hitting an almost 80% clip as overall.
That's actually very impressive. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah, because guess what? All the bigs, which is one of the reasons I'm gonna explain myself why the offense is greater. A lot of the bigs don't go inside that much no more. So they're not shooting many free throws either. And even the ones that do, they can shoot free throws now. Which to me, that's the biggest reason in terms of what I'm going to say as to why the NBA, in my opinion, has evolved. I'll go as far as to say evolved.
Right.
I believe this is my last one. Yes. This league right now, in terms of 100 possessions, is 16th in field goal percentage, but they're the only modern era team or modern era year to be in the top 16 in field goal percentage. So you're going to guess the 60s are full of this because all they did was score inside. And they have with Timberlake. So he had, like 90% field goals for his whole damn career. So, yeah. Modern era, jump shot city. They're the only one. Even last year and the year before isn't as good in field goal percentage than this year right now. Aren't those numbers insane?
No, they're actually kind of ridiculous. Like, just hearing it. Again, you could kind of see it when you're watching the games. But when you hear it, it's like...
Yeah, when you get literal numerical proof that what you're seeing is not a lie. Yeah, this stuff is absolutely insane. How everybody is just getting buckets at will. At will. So, all right, so now, the reason why I want to bring up the center position is because I think that was the missing piece that was kind of eluding this whole 2010s era. The center position was so like obsolete for the majority of the 2010s that it kind of, I feel like it affected a lot of these offensive numbers, but I think centers now caught up. You want to know the best example? Nikola Jokic. He is, to me, the prototypical, the prototype of what a modern day center should be. Minus the point guard stuff, because you don't need that. But I mean, it'll be nice.
No, like,
if a center can pass.
No, he's literally one. You can make the argument he's one of the best offensive centers of all time already.
Already, one of the best passing centers already. Only one you could think of who was Bill Walton. Is the only one that can pass like him.
Sabonis' father, Arvydas Sabonis,
right? Like
yeah.
he's the only center you can think of that can actually pass like him. But he is the prototype. So we're seeing a lot of centers nowadays really playing into that part, being able to pass, being able to hit and pick and roll, being able to shoot, and being able to hit free throws at around a 70-ish to 70 to like 80-ish clip nowadays. These centers. The only exceptions I can think of that are dominant but aren't doing that specifically is Embiid, and that's partially a lie because he can shoot a bit. He is a good free throw shooter, and he can pass when they let him do it. That's a big problem with 76ers, even though they're on a winning streak and they're up there now. But
they finally lost recently too to Washington.
And they're a 3-game winning streak though.
Okay,
so they're doing their thing. They're they're 5th in the East and they're 23 and 14. They do. Okay. They fixed whatever dumbass problems they had in November. They fixed that. So
they just have high in talent. I would get it.
Yeah, and a certain beauty guy wasn't there too. Anyway, so he's the only one, but that's because he's the only post guy that's like in the league now. But he still does everything else that you want in a center in modern days. So it's insane.
Yeah, because you gotta think about it like this back in the 2010s as well. Like your top 5 centers consisted of Roy Hibbert, Dwight Howard, but and his lower end
with a broken back and DeMarcus Cousins.
We
all love DeMarcus Cousins, but nah. No. He played one side of the ball. He was a little bit inefficient and angry guy. And was a negative on defense. Yeah, you don't want that. Centers should still play defense unless your name is Nikola Jokic. And he's not even that bad.
No, he's a neutral to plus defender.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's still not that bad. I mean, when playoffs say he's gonna get attacked and he's gonna pay for it, but he's not that. Like you can survive because he is a literal God on offense. Like it's just bad. He's basically becoming the best player in the league at this point if he's not already.
There's certainly an argument for that.
Yeah, there is. His 2 big ass trophies in his house, kind of. And he might get a third. Spoiler alert for scenarios. So I think that position being able to become what it is today. Now, I think that's a big reason why it's really boosting up the offensive numbers for this season, and the perfection of small ball. I say too, because half the teams either they got a center or they got a guy who can play center who's like 6, like 9. But does all the things that you want, and their offense is perfectly fine.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like there's many centers now. Again, they're like you said, they're very talented enough to score the basketball. Now, like the 2 you said, Conte and Towns, having a down year this year, but still one of the better offensive players in the league. Yeah, yeah. And at the end of the day, it's
what's situations like we call off.
Hey man, listen, it happens, and it's one of those situations that's like. Centers, okay, I'm gonna say this. Centers at the same time are obsolete and not at the same time.
I don't think they're obsolete. Well, I'm sorry.
No, I said they are at the same time because some of the better teams legit could just run like let's say like a Draymond at center and they could be perfectly fine. Now, not everybody do got Draymond. Draymond's one of a kind, but you get the sentiment of what I'm going with is.
Yeah, but yeah, I hear that. But like I said, they kind of go small anyway. So you got people like Jaren Jackson. Who's like, what, he's like 6'10"?
He's 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he does all the things you want instead of modern day. He plays defense, quote unquote. I struggle saying that when you have like 4 fouls a game. But he plays defense. He could shoot a little bit. He's very mobile. Is another thing that centers do better than they ever done.
That's the biggest thing.
They move, which brings me to my second point. I think the good teams, at least, / Dallas, because I can't stand watching them play offense. But a lot of the good teams, they do something called move with the basketball. It only took these people since 1997 to finally move the ball. San Antonio's original system. They finally moved, they cut, they run plays. They just don't stand there with the ball going like this, dun, 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 for 20 out of 24 seconds. Most of the good teams don't do that. Most of them, Dallas kind of does, and it still kills me to this day. I hate watching Dallas play, but a lot of the teams actually move. Boston does this to a T now. Bucks do this every once in a while. They actually move the basketball, and it makes me happy to see it because moving basketball is beautiful basketball, and when you play beautiful basketball like that, going to the basket is the easiest thing. Hence why they're not getting many foul calls, because a lot of their layups are open. So you don't have to worry. And the pick and roll, I think a lot of people are kicking ass at it too. That probably helped Donovan Mitchell score that 71, mastering the pick and roll, especially when you got two big ass centers as in Mobley and Jared Allen.
Who's also very mobile, by the way, or Mobley.
To makes it easier for you to get open shots and make easy decisions. You know, that's Trae Young's bread and butter. Without that, he ain't doing nothing for the most part because he can't shoot apparently anymore. What, he's like 31% in three right now?
Oh,
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that's what he actually is, but I think just this year he's and all the turmoil is happening with the front row. You know, that stuff affects the players. So I think that's what it is. You know, a lot of that is his fault. But it is true. I know. That's probably what it is from him. But I think a lot of people are mastering the pick and roll. And I know who don't get enough credit for this. Draymond. You see how he hits that pick and roll. And mind you, Steph is the one calling for it. But I've never seen a guy who's a smarter roller, a smarter screener, and knows what to do more when they get called in the pick and roll than him. And I think a lot of people are doing a better job at it. And that's another thing. People are really mastering their plays.
Right.
You don't see, I swear to God, you didn't see a lot of this stuff back in the day, man. But you're seeing it a lot in a lot of different teams now, even the bad teams. How the hell OKC put up $150?
How the hell?
How did they do that? Like, bro.
No, it's one of those situations that's like, again, you watch basketball from back in the day, like 2000. They were very ISO heavy teams.
Yeah, my most hated style of basketball of all time. That's why I'm a Warriors fan. They don't do that.
But again, like I said, like moving the ball is winning basketball at the end of the day. Getting your place of all helps you get wins. Again, you would think something so simple wouldn't have to be said, but
it only took them 30 years almost to catch on to San Antonio. Why? I think San Antonio was whipping on your asses for 20 years. That's why. That system. Why you think Golden State stole half of it? And that's why.
And this is why I'm gonna say this. Easy. This is what I'm saying right now. Individual assists is the most overrated. Is the most overrated thing ever. Team assists is beautiful. Individual assists is a very overrated thing because it just shows that like you're very reliant on one person to make plays for one of the. Leave you alone, bro. Even though, yeah, but yeah, it's one of those situations.
I learned that lesson from Westbrook. The assist thing.
Again, like
which most of y'all should have learned that lesson from Westbrook.
No, like,
but all of you are little. You know, you need to get educated sometimes.
Like players like Harden, Westbrook, Luka.
Almost said the loser until he said Luka. I'm like, ugh. Even though I'm still think he's trending in that direction, but hasn't been proven yet. So.
Like LeBron was like the only outlet I could think of that led the league in assists and won a title that same year. The bubble year.
If you have eyes, you see that there's a difference between the way he gets his triple doubles and the way other people have gotten them over the years in Westbrook. So, come on, it's a difference.
No, there is.
If you have any type of basketball IQ, you see the difference, bro.
No,
he makes his team. He made his teammates better since he got out the womb, bro. Like it just is how he was, and I don't see that from Luka right now. Hence why I'm not liking how things are going in that team. I did not come on the show to destroy Dallas, but it's kind of coming out.
Listen, you saw the Christmas game with me. You saw the Christmas game.
Yeah, I see that. They I hate their offense, bro. Think that's a good example because what the hell were they doing in that first half? Jack shit. But once their threes started going in the second half is when they started getting the blowout. And it's like
literally, it was just third quarter. Because full quarter they weren't on it either. It was third quarter they put up 51 points.
That's what I'm saying because they hit how many threes? Like 20?
Like 10 in the third quarter.
Yeah, it feels like that's what I'm saying. You know, bro, like that's how they are. When they start feeling hot is when they score. But that's why they're where they at? Like 500? Where they at?
They're I think a little bit above 500.
Yeah, they're 22-16 right now because they're on the 7-game winning streak. That's why they were at 500 about 3 weeks ago. They started winning all these games, but Luka had to be averaging 60 points in order for that to even happen. So
next game.
I'm saying maybe they do need a coaching change. Maybe all this about defense. They're not even playing that well on defense either.
They're not. No, that team right now is just a mess right now.
Yeah. But we're going on tangents. This happens with me. My bad. That's why Trevor's usually here to be like, all right, let's talk about this. And he keeps me in track. Because I can talk all day. And I haven't talked basketball since that episode, wherever the episode
exactly.
was. So yeah, it's been a little while. But back to the offense. That I think those are the real reasons, in my opinion, as to why the offenses are just firing on all cylinders right now. And probably the biggest point Alex said from the beginning, the talent level I don't think any year in this league can match the talent level that the talent level is in today. It's insane. People's 10th men's are decent. Like, they're decent players. They can do something. Like, it's crazy. Absolutely insane. My boy Jacopo's a beast, bro.
He is.
That's also a nice prototypical center for modern day too.
Can't shoot.
He can't shoot, but he rebounds for you. He plays a little bit of defense. He moves around. He makes the smart decisions.
That's another hook shot too.
That's what I'm saying. There's another one, and that's a low budget one. I'm not even talking about the good ones.
But he's a low budget one. Again, he's someone that many contenders will want to get from San Antonio because they'll make that team that much better.
He would. He has the makings of a winning player. That's what you want in the centers nowadays. And another thing I wanted to say is I think also there's so much talent, but there's also, I think a lot of people have mastered their position in a sense. Like, you see the different positions, the wings, the threes, the twos, like all of them know how to play in this style of basketball. Okay, that's what I meant. That's a better word for it. There we go. That's what I meant by master. They mastered the style of basketball in which it is allowed to be succeeded for this day and age. There's a lot of great players who know how to succeed in their position for this one. Like, even Porzingis, like, look how he plays now. He ain't playing like that in New York and Dallas.
Peter Porzingis is different.
I'm telling you, able to shoot, make good decisions. Maybe that came with maturity too. I don't know, but
it's possible.
Look at Kuzma. Look at Kuzma. I mean, they suck, but look at Kuzma.
Healthy, they're fun. They're healthy, they're fun. Watch the fun.
Yeah. And those are low budget players, like players that you wouldn't really put in your top 25s, top 30s, even.
Those two, look at a player like OG.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think there's too much damn talent, and they know how to play in today's basketball. Then again, the NBA makes it a little more easier than before to be able to score. But hey, they're doing it, and they're doing it better than a lot of people would do it, no matter what era it is.
Listen, so, at the end of the day, you got to take advantage of the resources that are given to you, and that's what these players are doing nowadays.
Yeah. And I'm glad that most of them aren't being like, Harden and Trae Young trying to get free throws to get points. So it's not just that, I'm killing Trae Young too.
Just kill the 2018 draft class. Just kill the two main people.
I'm not even killing Luka like that. It's the team. I can't stand watching the team play.
No, they're very. Oh, speaking of which, they're playing tonight too.
I ain't watching.
They're playing on Boston.
I should watch it, but I'm not going to. I don't like watching Dallas play. I'll watch later, like down the line.
Watching Dallas play. I
don't like Dallas.
No, it could be excruciating at times.
It is. Give me the Grizzlies. I watch them play. Give me the Pelicans. I don't watch Fat Boy. He's not there. He's out for a month, but they still winning though, aren't they?
Yeah, they blew out Houston, I think.
Yeah, like they still doing their thing. It's like I'm looking here because I have the standings.
Again, they're a very good team.
Yeah, it's like I watch them. Dallas makes me sick. I'm sorry, they do. All right,
right, not just Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys. when it's my show, then we can make fun of Dallas. Well, Trevor Reed does that. I don't really care about Dallas right now, but time's coming near. I'm saying, it might be 2 weeks for all we know.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
No, bull crap is Thursday. We can change rather.
Oh, it's gonna be
depending on what the NFL wants to do when it comes to even though they're now. I heard they actually are leaning towards canceling the Bengals game now. So I knew they didn't at first. They're leaning towards it now, but I don't know how that's gonna work. But whatever. This is the wrong show for that. My bad. Anyway, so let's talk about scenarios for the second half of the season. So do I like read the standings or like what? Like,
go ahead. Yeah.
Because why not? Because it'll be fun.
Why not?
Who was the contenders and who was leading the Wembanyama sweepstakes? By the way, nobody talking about Scoot, and I don't know why. Because that dude
he's nice.
That
dude
can
play.
I rarely see a dude, because I think it was a couple of days ago, where you gather the ball and you just still posterize somebody. You're not supposed to be getting away with that. That's bad. I don't know y'all talk. I'm trying to illustrate it on YouTube. Like, you gather the ball, you have the ball in one hand, you two-step, and then you just slam it right in somebody's grill. No. That's disrespectful. I'm talking street, like the street coming out. But bro, it doesn't matter what hoop. I don't care if it's in a park, if it's in freaking rec, or if it's in NBA. You don't get dunked on like that.
You don't get dunked on.
That's School Dude is a beast. I don't know why I don't nobody talking about him, but it's Wembanyama this, Wembanyama that. Whoever's second pick will be fine too.
No, I'm saying like low key, if you're top 8, you're gonna be good.
Some talented kids coming
you're
in,
gonna
bro.
be good.
Like, but yeah. So on the East, we got Celtics in 1, Bucks at 2, Nets at 3. They're gonna be a big one to talk about during the scenarios. Cavaliers at 4, 76ers at 5, New York Knicks at 6. They actually won 3 games in a row. Maybe they won't go 500 yet.
They'll lose 4 games in a row soon.
Pacers, Jesus Christ. Pacers at 7. Miami Heat are an 8. I don't know how the hell.
Who's below them?
The Hawks. That's another one. I don't know how the hell. All right. 9. The Bulls are at 10. Now we're cutting into the Wembanyama Eastern side sweepstakes where you have the Bulls at 10, the Wizards 11, the Raptors at 12. Damn, these dudes are real bad. I never noticed how bad the Raptors really are. Besides me watching them not so long ago.
They suck.
Magic at 13, Pistons at 14, and Hornets at 15. They have 10 wins. Could be worse. They have I know people have 3 at this point in the season at one point. So, all right, on the West, we have the Nuggets. That was my number 1 seed too coming into the season. The Nuggets at 1, Grizzlies at 2, Pelicans at 3, Mavericks at 4, Kings at 5, Clippers. I hate the Clippers with a passion.
Clippers are a very under the radar team this year. That's actually kind of insane.
They make me sick.
They're very under the radar
to my stomach.
Hey man, Clip game don't make.
I hate the Clippers. I know people are like, all right, I get it. No, you don't get it.
You don't get it.
You don't know my disdain.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
Anyway, irrelevant. Trailblazers at 7, Suns at 8, Warriors at 9, and because every time I see Jazz, I think of Wembanyama, even though the way ahead of that. No, Jazz are 10. This is playing.
They lose 5 games in a row.
Yes.
I'm about to say no.
They're getting it for now, but for now, they're in the play-in. Then we start to going into the Wembanyama sweepstakes, not named the Lakers. Timberwolves at 11. The Pelicans pick is at 12. Thunder at 13. Spurs at 14. And the Rockets, same record as the the Hornets, with one extra with 1 less loss.
Thunder is 13. That's actually interesting because they're actually semi-competent.
They are semi-competent, but I think they have an identity crisis. They don't know whether to suck or to not suck.
No, I think this is just the tease year.
But they want Wembanyama. Imagine him and Chet.
No. Again, it's like I said before. I don't think you want to be the worst team in the league because I think the chances of you getting that top pick are kind of lower. Because in the year when it was,
just giving it to Cleveland, forget it. Anyway, that's kind of an inside joke I've been saying since 2013 or whatever the hell. Whenever they had when they had Wiggins, Wiggins, yeah. Then when they got the pick when they shouldn't have.
Not because they had Ja and Zion, they weren't supposed to be anywhere near the top 2, and they sprung all the way up. That was the really last ridiculously hyped draft class we had. So, because the year after the Anthony Edwards one, that was who the hell is going to be good in this draft? They was supposed to just talk about LaMelo, and that's it.
Is it Anthony Edwards draft, the Halliburton draft?
Yes.
And we got a dude who doesn't know how to play basketball. I don't want to talk about this. Anyway. So, first scenario.
I'm going to go to Arizona real quick.
Oh, you went straight for it. Damn.
I'm going straight for it.
Because I displayed my bias doesn't mean you have to. This is your show. You're not supposed to be that biased. I can do whatever the hell I want.
I'm not displaying my bias. It's actually a legitimate concern that other people have that I'm going to laugh at.
Not because they lost their best player for a while or anything. Sure.
Are the Phoenix Suns finished? Now, look at the facts.
Well, now, when you say finish, what does that mean?
They will still be a playoff team for sure, but in terms of being contenders, it's a wrap.
Oh, I thought that before the season started.
No, I thought that too, but it's one thing you could think something's gonna happen, but again, when it's finally out on display.
No, I'll say I'm right. That's what I'm doing right now.
What I had a feeling was gonna happen going into this year happened. Chris Paul kind of sucks.
Yeah, he's 106.
Chris Paul looks washed. His brain's still there. He can still make some passes here and there, but in terms of the scoring aspect, he's just another version of Rondo.
He's 106. This is very obvious coming in.
Ayton got better. The Bridges got better. But it still feels like without Devin Booker, they can't do a goddamn thing.
That's kind of how they were before Chris Paul got there.
Yeah, before Chris Paul got there, when Chris Paul got there, supposed to, alleviate that.
He did. But now that he's 106, can't.
like this is no. I'm saying this is a bad. This is just a bad basketball team. I'm just gonna come on and say this is a really bad basketball team.
Well, before Chris Paul got there, they won like 30 games. When Chris Paul got there, they won like 60. Now they got Chris Paul who's washed, but then Booker, everybody has alleviated, like you said.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna win like 48. See, that's how it works. Now they gotta find somebody to replace Chris Paul, which is not kind of impossible because Chris Paul's one of a kind, and then they can go back to winning 60 games. See, they're still good. They're just not contenders anymore. The reason why they were contenders is because Chris Paul was there, and now that Chris Paul's not there, he's physically there and not at the same time. But now that he's washed.
No, because this is why I don't call them a good team, and it's not just a thing towards them; it's just things towards most teams. If you have to rely solely on one player for you to win basketball games,
I hear that.
I can't call you a good team.
I hear that.
That's why I don't call Mavericks a good team either. It's like again,
I hear that. I will not dispute that, but it just doesn't bother me much about this because they were so ass before he got there, and now that he's not really there, they're not ass anymore. They're just. That's a huge improvement. You just got to figure out how to get Devin Booker some help in the backcourt, and you're good.
And maybe this would have less of an impact if the first year he was you didn't make the finals, and then the second year with 64 games and have the most hilarious playoff loss in NBA history. But it's but there's again the fact that you had those 2 years and now you have a year which you're 2019.
Yes,
you're 2019. You're hovering over a playing spot, which again
a lot of people miss time though. Except I think Ain't probably only healthy.
No, I understand that your best player hasn't.
And it's this season.
I understand that your best player hasn't been there, but again, you watch them play, they just look awful. They have the games though. They have the games where they actually look like a competent basketball team, like that Christmas game against Denver. That Denver pretty much didn't play the entire game. They look good, but most times I see them play, they look disgusting.
This boy isn't there. He's washed. He's 106. He found the youth for that one game and turned to 86. Now he went back up to 106.
What game was talking about?
I heard he was okay. He didn't score, but he was still doing all.
That game.
That's the one they were actually like a basketball team is because he looked competent, but now he's not looking competent. Now they suck.
I remember he was competent against my team too. I want to smack somebody. What's that?
Whatever.
Your turn.
My turn. Who the hell's gonna win this conference?
The one with the West?
Yes.
Sacramento.
Like who's gonna win this conference? There's too much goodness and inconsistency from every team. So like Nuggets, for example, they're getting healthier because that certain player that everybody overrates because he never plays basketball games. He makes some contributions, but Jamal Murray's looking like his knees are back to where they should be, and Aaron Gordon's doing his role very well. And Nikola Jokic is just the greatest thing that's ever happened in the NBA, and now they're where they probably should be. Memphis, they're picking up right where they left off. They're getting their players back. Desmond Bane is back, so they're doing their thing. And Ja's just a superstar. So I mean, with him there, your 50 wins automatically as long as he's healthy. The Pelicans, all the pieces are coming together, right? Even with Fat Boy, and you're good.
And Brandon be missing time too.
And I don't remember last time I saw him play. So yeah, and they're good. They have so much talent. Is insane in this team. Mavericks, I don't know how the hell they're 4th seed, but Lucas is that savage, I guess. I don't know. The Kings. There's a reason why they're silenced. Because this is just a phenomenon I don't remember hearing about for 20 years. They are the 5th seed.
Their playoff job may not graduate high school for once.
It might. When last time they 06?
06.
Almost close too.
I know.
It's close.
We had the conversation before season started.
I will say this. There are some people who have late birthdays who graduate at 17 years old. Just saying.
But the playoffs is in April.
I'm saying. So this is the year. This is it. I'm just saying. This is it. And I'm going to skip this bum-ass team. I don't know how the hell Trevor is here either. A lot of these teams suck. That's why nobody believes in these teams. I'm talking about the bum-ass Clippers, by the way. I hate them. They're going to be in the playoffs, though.
No, I'm like...
They're going to be in the playoffs, though. Wow, Trailblazers. Maybe the Warriors might jumpstart them in a little while.
No,
Curry is coming back next week, so they'll start. Assuming that how the world players are playing right now, they continue when Steph is there, then they're going to start racking up wins. That's why nobody sleeps on Golden State. And the Suns are still going to be a playoff team too. But I honestly don't give a rat's ass who's in the play-in. They don't look based on who's in the bottom. I don't see how in God's name any of those teams beat any of the top 8. But outside of the Trailblazers, again, they'll be flipped with Golden State. I don't know who's winning in this conference. This conference is too loaded.
No, because I have legitimate concerns for literally every single team you just named.
All right, so then I was the positive one. Now you are devil's advocate. Go ahead, do what I did.
All right, the Denver Nuggets, one of the worst defensive teams.
Yeah, they can't play defense.
I've seen them all life. They've gotten better, but still not crazy.
Okay.
Memphis, I think the biggest enemy is themselves. I think they
agree.
they're way better than what they are, and then there's
Josh already started that. Yeah.
Yeah. So and they're so worried about Golden State that I could see a team like the Blazers cooking them and taking them out the playoffs. The New Orleans Pelicans lack of experience at the end of the day. I know that everybody else made it before the year before, but I just gotta see him put together with Zion and come playoff time.
Assuming he stays in the court.
Assuming he stays in the court. The Dallas Mavericks, Luka ball. Moving on.
Luka and friends.
Luka ball. Moving on.
Luka and friends.
Right. The Sacramento Kings. Speak about inexperience. Like the best player.
They're the ones are. Why the hell are you here? Everybody else is looking at them like again. Why are on the court?
Great regular season. Fun team to watch. Again, this is assuming they stay in the playoffs. This is not going to last long. It's really not. The Los Angeles Clippers. Listen, they've had a track record of failure for as long as our mother's been alive.
Yeah, they have. And it makes me happy every day.
And again, have one of the deepest teams in the league. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes time, can they actually finally get it done? And I'm gonna be honest with you, they probably won't. They're probably gonna find a way to mess up all over again. The Portland Trailblazers, you're not winning. You're not winning.
I don't know what you're talking about. Though. They're not going to be here at the end of the season. Golden State will take over, so just replace them with Golden State.
All right, sure, whatever. The Golden State
Trailblazers.
The Golden State Warriors. At the end of the day, you have to hope those players like Anthony Lamb, Patrick Baldwin Jr.
They have to win on the damn road.
Listen, not if you're the top 2 seed, you don't have to.
They're not going to be in the top 2 seed. No, it's not happening. So you need to win on the road. And you're not going to win every single home game. You should always, at the very least, in my opinion, if you are in a playoffs,
they almost did this. Game 1, they lost against Boston.
That's what I'm saying. You have. Don't remind me of that bullshit game. You have to win, in my opinion, at least 2 road games in your playoff series, in the series itself. Because you're going to assume that the team you're playing, especially as you go on, they're going to take a game from you in your house at the very least. And that's if you're the first.
Better ones anyway.
Yeah, at least that's once you get on past the second,
the better ones,
second, third, fourth, and finals. The first, you probably don't have to worry about it, but hey, shit happens. So always be prepared to take 2. So you need to be able to go in their house and win 2. If you're a higher seed, then maybe you can get away with 1 if you finish your shit at home. But always. So yeah, exactly. So in my team's case, Golden State, you literally have like less road wins than have fingers in one hand, and I have all of them. By the way. I have 5. So I'm not Pierre Paul. See, 10, bang. So are you going to actually do this type of stuff in the playoffs or not? Is their problem? Because. And you said it's all on the kids. It's all on people coming off the bench because their starting 5 is, one of the best in the league when they play.
Shout out my boy Kevin Olajuwon. Oh boy,
game winner. Let's go. So that's their issue. I mean, is this are they going to be able to play and win a road game, or is the starting 5 got to play 48 minutes? Like which one is it? What's going to happen? Who's next? Oh, Phoenix.
You're nothing.
Kind of already talked about.
You're nothing about Devin Booker. Your last playoff game, so you play. You got a good game with Luka at halftime.
They are. That's actually a good point. All right, good turn.
Brooklyn, is the whole media circus finally over, and you're finally 100% locked in for the season.
Yeah, my scenario is this it? Are you
'Cause-
finally going to meet everybody's unrealistic expectations that they gave you since the signings of Durant and Kyrie? Well,
Yeah,
that's right.
because
Is this it?
they were winners of 12. Like they had a whole really bad start of the season, and then Steve Nash not knowing what the hell to do with the job, and then the whole Kyrie situation happened, right?
No, the usual.
Right, and then it's like when everything finally calmed down, they won a 12-game winning streak.
They win, and Kyrie's playing all right. Durant is an MVP candidate, and even the unforgiving Simmons actually looks like he's pretty much fell into his role pretty nicely. He's not the way he used to be, but
he is a perfect Alfred to Ben Roberts.
He's a compliment. It's really good, and they got other players stepping up too. Surprisingly enough, so
you got Edna Silva playing pretty well. Yuta Watanabe, TJ Warren, who was a dark throw sign who actually been playing pretty well off the bench when he does play basketball finally. Even though I'm not gonna lie, watching him play basketball for the first time in 10 years was very refreshing.
So yeah, Brooklyn is it? This is probably their best roster out of the whole Durant era too.
Yeah, no, it's actually a complete roster for the most part. The only concern I have, but it's a big one though, is rim protection when it comes to them.
You'll see that type of concern for a lot of people though.
But that is most definitely more of a playoff problem than it is a regular season problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Obviously, they won 12 games in a row, but still.
I say, yeah, what they gonna do against Embiid and Robert Williams? People like that, what's gonna happen? So, yeah, it's true. I agree with that 100%. So is Jokic gonna get 3 MVPs in a row? I believe this will be the first time since Bird?
Since Bird, yeah. No. And
even though every stat goes his way, literally
voter fatigue is a real thing.
It is, but then if the truth is slapped you in your face, what the hell? Nobody's playing as good as he is. That's literally a fact.
No, I understand.
And he's the first seed in his insane conference and everything. Everything is literally at this point in time going towards him.
No, I understand that. And again, if you say he's the best player in the league right now, you're not wrong. But again, voter fatigue is a real thing. They will literally get bored of your greatness.
No, they would. And they'll find a person to replace you. Too bad, in my opinion, as of right now, there is no one to give the reward to. You don't give to nobody. As of right now, it's him. There's nobody better.
No, he got the numbers both
of right now.
Both the counting and the advanced metrics.
There's nothing that any detractors can say or do to take this award from him right now.
And he literally is the number 1 seed
yet.
So no,
right now,
I understand completely what you're saying, but again, that's just how the voters are. Unfortunately, you know how media people are.
Yeah, but there's no way. Because there's no one to give it to as no one else to give it to at this point in time. It's clear, it's unanimous level right now that he gets MVP. In my opinion, at least, it's unanimous. There's no one until I see somebody else step up the game and actually win games too, because that matters in the NBA. When they do that, that's when. But as of right now, it will be one of the biggest travesties of all time to not give this man the award if he continues this pace. At least we'll see if he does.
Sacramento, real or fake? Listen, they're the fifth seed in the NBA. Fifth seed in the West Conference currently, but
I'm about to say he could be the 5th seed in the entire conference. I think I know how that works.
Well, OD, right?
The whole league, okay, whatever that means.
Right, exactly. But the fifth seed in the Western Conference right now, playing really fun NBA basketball. But the problem is and I feel like Sacramento is kind of thinking the same way. Is how long is this actually going to last for them? Because listen, they've been through hell.
Yes, to the point where I don't know how they still have a freaking basketball team in their town.
They've been through absolute hell. Their fandom, they deserve a season like this. They really do. But it's one of those situations. Can they actually sustain this for the whole entire season? And okay, I'm gonna be honest, you actually don't have an opinion on this. I'm just kind of just throwing this out there, but I don't have an opinion because I can see a world where they finish they overachieve and they do finish with 50 wins. I can see a world where they do that. But I can see a world where they finish I
almost laughed when you said that.
I can see a world where they finish with 36 wins and miss the play-in entirely. I know this franchise too well.
You all do. I don't trust them either.
I like the players. Don't get me wrong. I like their players a lot. They're playing really well. Just can you finally do this for the whole entire season and not tease everybody like you did in 2019? Because I'm not gonna forget that season. Fire Dave Yeager for Luke Warren.
Will this be one of, if not the craziest trade month and trade deadline we've ever seen? Since there is a candidate and a two prospects who are supposed to be all-time talents, people have more incentive to trade their assets to get more draft assets to try to acquire these two boys. Now, so players that could be on the market or going around, players like Caruso, players like maybe even Bradley Beal. I'm just saying it might happen. They may actually keep Kuzma. You know, Kuzma's the cheaper asset, and get rid of Bradley Beal. You know, the guy they should never sign in the first place.
Oh, God.
There's a whole bunch of wings in that Toronto team. I mean, they don't need all of them. Same.
Well, the quarterback.
Oh, what? Right? What's his? I wish. What's his face off of Pistons?
Boyan Bogdanovic.
Yeah, him. He may be on the market so they can. Imagine they don't need much help, more help sucking. But hey, they take him out, they probably never win a game again. So, like, what about him? What about Jakob Porto? Like I said, for the Spurs, you know what I mean? There's half of the Jazz roster. They're all viable players for contenders. It's a lot of players that might be in the market. And I'm going to tie this to my final scenario. What are the Atlanta Hawks going to do this offseason after all the horse crap that's been going around? We already know McMillan's gone, so that's already a thing.
Bye.
But I wonder.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this is not going to happen. I'm actually 100% sure it's not going to happen. But I want to throw it out there because it's fun to think about. What if they get sick and tired
of Trae Young's BS?
Of Trae Young's bullshit, yes. And they actually put him on the block.
There's not a world that happens.
No, it's not going to happen.
I was going to tell you why.
It's not going to happen.
The DeJounte Murray trade kind of nixed that because all their picks they traded are unprotected. So that's cooked.
I was more thinking of how they're going to put asses in seats if they have Trae Young.
No, I understand that. But
that was more my way.
But again, another point to add to that, I think all the picks are unprotected in the trade, so that's a wrap for that. And I'm gonna say it right now.
That 2020 playoff was a fucking lie.
And
obviously.
And I'm gonna say this right now.
All that dude is get empty stats and doesn't do nothing with it. I'm just saying. Maybe they get tired, and now he's apparently a crybaby. And what coach want to coach someone who the minute you piss him off is gonna cry like a little bitch and try to get you fired? Like, you know what I'm saying? And literally skip games. I'm just saying.
He did that?
Yeah, he missed games. Remember, they denied that he skipped the game on purpose. But I mean, I don't know. Y'all NBA stars, I'll put none past y'all no more. So
I actually did not get that report. That's insane.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
gonna try to do both at the same time. I'm gonna tackle the first point first. The team selling all that. I don't think it's gonna be that insane for the simple fact of I think players are being more like cautious for what they trade because a certain team in the North wanted to trade 5 first-round picks for a center that can't score and is an overrated rim protector.
Talking about Timberwolves and Rudy Gobert.
Huh? Oh. So about it, and the Atlanta trade looked like it might blow up in their face too. Because and the Johnson Murray's not even playing bad, by the way. He's actually playing pretty well, but the team sucks. At first I call them they're the most mediocre team of all time. Well, no, they're just bad. They are a really bad basketball team. I'm sorry. And the thing is like teams are more scared to trade their assets to avoid that. Mind you, we've seen bad trades in the past, like the whole Nets trade with the Garnett and all that.
Well, when they traded for an entire old folks home.
Yes. But
I make fun of NFL GMs, NBA GMs back in the day. They were the dumbest people on planet Earth, man. Easily. NFL ain't got nothing. The only close thing that I can think of for NFL is when Ditka traded his whole draft board for Ricky Williams. The only time I could think of that was equally as stupid as some of the NBA
and Ricky was great. From Miami.
There was no player that's worth an entire draft board. No. Not even Tom Brady, the best player ever. No, he's not worth an entire draft board.
Yeah, because
he kind of needs players to play with. I'm just saying. But anyway, back to basketball.
But
them GMs, Jesus Lord,
but
stupid. And apparently it ain't over because look at the GM in Minnesota. So,
but yeah, they're way more like cautious and scared to trade the players. Like a player, and they kind of value the players more. Like a player like OG gonna take 2 first-round picks probably to get him. I heard San Antonio was asking for 2 first-round picks for Jacopoto. And I'm telling you, Minnesota messed up for everybody. I'm telling you, they really messed up for everybody. Because you got 5 first-round picks for that? Maybe we can get the first-round pick for this.
According to him, this is going to actually be the emptiest trade month ever.
Yeah, because
people think everybody's mentally retarded. So,
yeah, again, because
essentially, right? Yeah,
yeah, because newsflash, not every GM is dumbass Minnesota. There's reason why Denver got rid of that GM and became good again.
Oh my god!
And again, a team like, let's say a team like Golden State, for example, they will love a player like Alex Caruso. They will love a player like Jacopoto.
Love the Caruso.
And but even Chicago likes to lie to themselves, thinking they're competitive when they're not. They're not. They suck.
Screw that Vucevic trade and all.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't be mad at them for that trade though. I just can't be mad.
I mean, what's happening right now?
No, I know. Again, I didn't think it was gonna happen. I didn't think he would be bad. Then again, they're actually not using them right either. That doesn't help. But yeah, I think the trade deadline is gonna be very uneventful because teams that are trying to start are gonna ask for too much, and they're just not gonna be ready to be willing to give them. Like, would you give a 2 first-round picks for a player like Gordon Hayward here? I wouldn't.
You just said Gordon Hayward. I am so finished with life.
I about to say, would you trade 2 first-round picks for a player like Bojan Bogdanovic? I wouldn't. Why would I do that when I could draft someone who could potentially do the same thing with a late first-round pick? You can get a lot of talent nowadays. You can get someone to be a good role player.
That's true. Do it out there.
But yeah, I don't have anything else actually. No. One more. This pertains to my team, the Lakers. Are they just done just entirely? Because again, haven't been good since the year. I'm gonna say since the year of Phoenix because they just got injured to hell. That's why they were as low as they were. The year after they brought in Westbrook, he had a great laugh out of it.
I still am.
Every day that season, I wondered why I watched the sport of basketball. This year there are ridiculous roller coasters. Some nights like they have a great win like against Milwaukee and beat Miami without their 3 best players, and then they just lose to Charlotte. It just happens like that way. But they keep being like around mediocre trash these past 2 years. AD looks good, but he's brittle. LeBron's 50. Is it time?
Yeah, why the hell he signed that extension? I'll never know.
LeBron?
Yeah, don't get it. Oh well.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually think clearer skies are ahead. And I'm normally a pessimistic Lakers fan, you will know. I think things can get better. Because I've seen like both of our star players, play really, really well in large stretches. It's just whether or not they can be there to do it.
Yeah, don't hold your breath, my man.
No, again, I wouldn't be surprised if they just ate. Am I gonna be mad? Oh, of course, because again, I wanted 2 titles since we got LeBron and we only got 1.
Yeah, let's finish. Let's end on a bad note. Finish. It's your show, boy.
But no, sorry, just collecting myself.
Okay.
But that'll be the end of the first episode of 2023, first of many.
Oh crap! Yeah, it is the first one. I ain't even slow apparently.
I said it earlier, so I know you don't listen. Crazy. But be sure to subscribe to Sports Dynasty and Mafia Sports Report. Anything you want to plug in?
I will be returning to AFC Shakedown on Saturday. I'll make my awaited return. That's what Tommy was talking about in the first comment. What he meant by the Juan sighting, yes. I will make my return for the final episode of. I gotta finish what I started. I took a 2-week hiatus because the Patriots are sorry sacks of shit, but I will be back.
Could be worse.
No, the day before Buffalo beats the shit out of them. Yes, I will be back
by 45.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
now
real.
that I have even more motivation, even though they already own the Patriots, but whatever.
But yeah, y'all take it easy, and we'll catch you on the next one.